Hey, what's up everybody? So I wanted to make a video overview of the class change system in GoGo Muffin. For those who don't know about it, wondering what is it, how's it going to work, do I need to do anything to prepare about it, I want to touch on a few of those questions in just a high level overview of what you should expect. Now, before we dive into the specifics, we've got to explain a bit about how the class change system works. So in GoGo Muffin, there are 5 base classes, and all of these classes have what's called class changes. You can think of them as class upgrades. They are linear. You're not going to get to the class change and go to option A or B. It is simply a linear class upgrade. So Shadow Lash, for example, is going to become Dark Blade, and so on and so forth. Now, there are a few important things to note, and we'll get to them shortly. In order to see the class change UI, there's a couple places you can go to view it. Number one is you can go here into the info page, and there is a button here called Class Change Quest. Now, I have seen a lot of people complain that this button unlocks pretty early on and does basically nothing for a long time. I think it unlocks at like level 55. But when you click here, you can see here is the Dark Blade, and this shows you're getting number one, a new talent disc, as well a new core skill, and a few other things. Now, basically what happens to lead up to the class change, you have this Hero Chronicle, which is a series of quests with simple objectives like reach level 58, defeat 800 monsters. Then here's another one, all skill levels reach 450, complete Waves of Horror, etc. And there's all these quests which are on a time gate. So you have to complete all these quests, and then you end up in the final series of quests which lead up to the eventual class change, which unlocks this. So some important things to note with class change. Class change, think of it as an evolved version of your class, but you still have access to the original class skills. It's not like you're going to go here into info and all of a sudden this is going to be blank. All of your original skills are still going to be here, but the class change is going to add additional skills into the skill pool. And because it's going to have a different core skill, maybe some new tactical skills and passive skills, you're going to have a different playstyle. Not to say you're suddenly going to go from a DPS to not a DPS or a tank to not a tank, but you are going to have some slight changes in what your focus will be. I'll give you an example with my class, since I played the class change version of it in closed beta 2. So right now, Assassin base class deals the majority of its damage from your core attack, your core skill, and everything that you have equipped is essentially buffing the damage of your core skill. In Class Change 1 Dark Blade, it's somewhat similar, except instead of your focus being on the core skill, you're focused on a tactical skill, the name of which is eluding me right now. But essentially, you have now, instead of focusing on core skill damage, you're going to be focusing on tactical skill damage, and then all of your other passives are going to be ones that contribute to tactical skill damage. So these are the types of changes you can expect when going into a new class change. Now, how do you get these new skills? Well, let me show you. When you go into your camp menu and you go here, you see this. You see your skill summon, you see interpret, you see your class here. There's going to be a new section here. It is a separate gacha for the new class. So your class change is going to be here, and it uses a different summoning currency. And I'll show you because we actually have some in the bag. Let me find it. Here. So Star Poem. See? Skill draw item for the first class change that can be deciphered at the Diviner's Stall. So this is the first class change summoning ticket, as opposed to Star Versus, which is for the base class. Now, there are some skills that are in the base class summon pool that are also in the first class change summon pool, but you are going to have, I believe what it was like 4 to 6, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was 4 to 6 new skills that come with the first class change, and of course a different approach and playstyle. So you can get these star poems for the first class change through these various sources, listed below, And basically what they had in closed beta, which I assume they're gonna add as well in this version of the global launch is they had a special limited rate up banner where you could get a guaranteed legendary version of each of the new class change skills. This was a very, very important banner because it basically guaranteed that within a certain amount of summons, you're going to get a legendary version of all the new skills for your class change. It's very important if you want to prepare for the class change, if you can, save as much Stellarite as possible so that you can try to get these legendary skills from the limited gacha. That's a very important thing to do, especially for a free-to-play player. For a whale like myself or spending players, you can simply just pull until you get everything. But if you can prioritize saving your Stellarite through doing your dailies and all the other methods to get it, so that you can at least acquire one legendary copy each of your class change abilities, that will give you a very nice boost. So that's really a high-level explanation of how the class change is going to work. Now, the other thing that's interesting during class change, like for example here, you can go and look at the dragon bounty rankings, and if you press this right arrow, you'll see that there's higher level dragons. And you guessed it, we're going to get a new dragon at class change. So the obsidian dragon is only for the base class, and once you class change, you're going to be fighting against the flame seal dragon. So you can see here Darkblade 1 through 80. If you go right again, this is the second class change, Nightweaver, Chaos Seal Dragon. And again, well, I guess there's actually two Nightweaver dragons. And then here, there's the next class change, Shadow Enforcer. 2 dragons for Shadow Enforcer. Then there's Nightopal. So you see, this is crazy. I mean, if you want to talk about endless upcoming content, this game in the various versions has 6 class changes. That means base class, then 6 more classes that you can evolve into. So you can just imagine the potential. It's almost blows your mind thinking of how much damage you deal now, what your character's potential is, and what possibilities will lie in wait once you've class changed 6 times. And trust me, I've seen some of the videos of these new class changes and they are epic. The devs have really put a lot of time and effort into making the upgraded classes play so well with some really cool skills, and trust me, it's something to look forward to. If you don't want to be spoiled, then I'd recommend don't go looking for it and just look forward to what's to come, because you'll really enjoy what you're gonna see. Now, I think I've basically covered everything you need to know. Again, this is just a high-level overview. I'm not going to go into specifics about like what each class change is and what the strategy is, but I will eventually do a guide for each class at various levels of class change and what you should be building for those classes. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Just a short overview of the class change system, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is going to be uploaded, and if you haven't already, please join the Discord. It's linked in the description down below. So there you have it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.